Hey there, everyone. Today I have I'm really excited about this knife. Um, this is the Custom Knife Factory FIF20. And, I get a lot of knives in and whatnot, but I don't get, well, that's not true. I get excited about all of them because most of the time it's a knife I haven't seen before. So that excites me to see something new. Some of them excite me more than others. And this FIF20 is super exciting to have been loaned in by a viewer uh, down in Southern California on Instagram, sharp_marbles. So go check him out. I had posted up my FIF23 with, here's my today carry, Instagram post or whatnot. And he reached out and said, hey, I kind of think the FIF20 is maybe a better office carry than the 23, although I love my 23 and, whatnot. And I'm like, dude, we started sending messages back and forth, and he was gracious enough to loan me his FIF20 to check out because honestly, I'd never checked one out. I have and own the FIF23, and I love it. It has a couple of drawbacks and a couple of negatives, and I will link down below to the video I did on the FIF23. On the FIF23, I'll link to that video. And a little bit later in the video, we'll do kind of a direct comparison of the two. Excuse me, and I will point out some of the things I dislike about the 23. And those are things that are not an issue on the 20. Although there is one issue on the 20. So let's just dive into the specs. And I won't go into the full specs on the 23 because you got to go watch that video. But we'll do a comparison here in a few minutes. So 4.5 inches overall. So it's pretty, it's small for something that, for me, I guess is what I'm saying. Overall length, and these are front flippers, overall length is 7 7/8. And it's just a hair under 7 7/8 with a blade length of 3.362 inches with a cutting edge of the same. It is M390 steel, just like the Big Brother. It is 0.140 thick. The overall thickness is 0.569, and it runs on bearings. This one weighs in at 4.6 ounces. Big Brother weighs in at 6.6. A lot of people think 6.6 is too big, too heavy to carry. And just to go a quick size comparison, yes, the 23 is significantly larger. But let's just zoom in on this because they do such a great job. If you're not familiar with Custom Knife Factory, you should be. Very nice satin blade. Zirconium, kind of matte zirconium bolsters. An amazing marbled carbon fiber. It's just fantastic. Titanium clip. It's got a little smudge on it there. 3D milled clip. More molded carbon fiber. Marbled carbon fiber. Blah. And again, a very clean blade. So you have CKF on the back. The maker's mark, which I can't even begin to pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try, the designer. And it runs on bearings. And it's just overall a great looking knife. I think it's also a zirconium backspacer, which is very nice. And it works fantastically. Now, it is not completely drop shut. Well, actually it is. Needs just a little bit of coaxing because the blade is not that heavy. It's a much shorter blade than the Big Brother. See, Custom Knife Factory is awesome. They included the microfiber cloth, a really cool, I mean, these are great pouches. They're made really well. And they include, oftentimes, most of the time, not when I got my FIF20 and not when I got my Ratata or my Muscle back in the day a few years ago, but they include extra hardware. So here's an entirely new pivot, a complete set of bearings, screws, some washers and spacers, everything. They even include a darker clip. I mean, really? Who includes an extra clip just in case? Just because? A patch, which is always cool. On the couple of knives that I have gotten before, they have included a little chocolate bar. So here's kind of here's the designer, Phillipe Jourget, I guess it is. I didn't want to screw it up before. This is number 55. They're all numbered. They are usually runs of 200 or 300, depending. So very cool. And the number is actually, the number 55 on this one is, let's see if it'll show, is right there on the inside of the blade with the steel. So that's how they can keep their blades clean, because they put a lot of that information inside. So my 23 is also M390 and number 211. So kind of a really cool place to put that information. I think that's just, that's cool. Fits in the hand great. This is truly a great office type carry because it is a small blade. One drawback to the only drawback to this knife at all, for my pockets, the clip is a little, it hangs up a little bit on on retrieving it from my pocket. Slides in perfectly. It gets hung up pulling out slightly. The 23 literally has the same clip shape, but doesn't have that problem. And I think it's because the clip on the 23 is just, I think, no, I guess not. I thought it was slightly longer. I don't know why, but the 20 kind of hangs up in my pocket where the 23 does not. That is the only issue I have with this knife whatsoever. Well, there's one other issue. I have to send it back. That's a problem for me. So if anybody out there in YouTube land has a FIF20 that you are looking to move, please hit me up. Dead seriously. Now that I've handled both, I kind of need to have a set. So the differences here really are the matte zirconium and the polished zirconium. The polished zirconium is a fingerprint freaking magnet, and that's one of the drawbacks to this. It's really, I much prefer the matte zirconium. Okay? I think the polished zirc on the backspacer is okay, but the polished bolster is just really hard to keep clean or to keep looking good. The other negative on the 23 is hard to show, but the heel of the blade, you can see it right there next to the stop pin. I'm going to move the blade. You can feel the blade. That's always a concern for me. I've had a bad experience with another maker that had a really wide, thick blade, had just a big opening in the back, and I slit my finger hardcore. So that's a bit of an issue, but with the FIF23, I have not cut myself. It's worked fine. It's more of a concern in my mind And yes, when I did that other video, people chimed in and said I could just dull the heel of the blade and stuff like that, but I didn't do any of that. So, all right, we're going to kind of skip a lot of the size comparisons. I'm going to go really quick through a couple because this video I kind of rambled on. And I didn't mean to do that, but the Sharpie and the Delica. And I think that's going to pretty much cover it. Like, I think you guys get the idea on the size of the 20 and versus the 23 for sure was my real goal. And hey, just one more because, you know, it's the hot item right now since they're stopping production on the Spectre. And it just so happens to be almost the exact length of the FIF20. So, anyway, thank you very, very much, Sharp Marbles, for loaning this in. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to compare the two, to carry them around a little bit, and yeah, I absolutely need to get my hands on a FIF20. So seriously, if anybody has a FIF20 that they are interested in selling, trading, working out some kind of deal, a long-term donation to the channel, perhaps? Hey, just saying. I would definitely be interested in anybody that has a FIF20 that is looking to move it. So hit me up, Instagram, Facebook, comment below, send me an email, whatever, if you've got a FIF20 that you're interested in moving. All right? Thanks for watching, guys. I know this ran a little bit long, but I haven't really seen too many videos comparing the two side by side. So I really wanted to kind of dig into it and explain that it's one of the best shrunk down versions I've ever seen of any knives. Normally, you know, there'll be some differences, but man, it's an exact copy. So I absolutely love it. Pocket clip. I know pocket clips can make or break a knife. Yeah, the clip is not perfect, but it's pretty dang close. So I'm willing to forego that small issue with the clip. So, all right, there you go, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with me. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.